Welcome, everyone. It's another episode of Not In, All In, where we just talk about whatever topic that sort of floats our boat, as they say. I'm Kirk Buchner along with Chris Mouradian. Dave Whitlock couldn't be with us this week, but we are hoping that he's going to be able to join us next week. I gave us a task, actually, because while there's sort of a few things we could sort of follow up on with things that we've talked about before, Emmanuel Classe is officially pretty much getting his just desserts, as they say.
Yeah, Ortiz as well, both of them.
Yeah, well, only one of them was ever going to really amount to anything.
True.
And now
But they're both in the same boat there.
They are, and I wouldn't bet on it floating. That works on two different levels, huh?
There you go.
You know what I did? But yeah, so just follow up on that. I still can't believe we don't know anything more about Kawhi's situation. And at one point, I think I want to sort of like go talk about more about. I want another month. Cooper Flagg's not really lighting it up, is he?
Not yet.
No. But what we're going to talk about today is all football. So if you're a football fan, this is the show for you. And this is our 2/3 of the way MVP or award situation. If we were to give the awards,
we had votes.
Yeah. Yes. And we're just going to do the major ones. We're not doing the coaches. And then we added sort of like two other ones on the side. Let's just go start off with the main event. Chris, who is MVP right now of the National Football League season 2025? And we're recording this on Monday, November 10th.
Yep. So I had it down to a 2-person race, and it really, unfortunately, comes down to, MVQ, really. It's the most valuable quarterback. While we may feel like a position player is more deserving, at the end of the day, it's really going to end up being a quarterback. And with that thought in mind, I had it down to 2. I'm going to lean with the elder and go with Matthew Stafford right now. He's, I don't know if you remember back preseason, he missed a ton of time. He had the back injury. There was kind of a question whether he was going to be healthy enough to play this year. And he's statistically having one of his finest seasons of a long and very decorated career so far. Right now, I think he's, as we speak, 25 touchdown passes to just 2 interceptions. Has the Rams humming out there in LA, pushing their way towards the playoffs, and really just kind of the touchdown interception ratio is what pushed him over the top for me with competing with Sam Darnold.
Okay. Yeah, he was one of the people I considered. I didn't go with him. Statistically, I can make the same case you did, and I almost did. I also agree with you that, let's be blunt, this is almost the quarterback of the year. Last time we had somebody who was not a quarterback win the MVP, it was Adrian Peterson in 2012. For the most part, unless you are so good at either standing out on defense, which rarely happens for the league MVP, or running back or wide receiver, it's just not happening. And so I'm looking at it almost the way that I think they would look at it. And I went a different route, but not with Sam Darnold.
Okay.
I looked at this almost the same way where I justified Josh Allen winning the MVP over Lamar Jackson. Jackson had the better year. I take out Jackson off the Ravens. I take out Josh Allen off the Bills. What has the bigger impact? I'm going to tell you who I've got right now, but someone who I don't think I will say in 7 weeks' time when the season's over. Or is it 7 or 8 weeks? I always get confused.
I think we're week 10, so I think we got 8 weeks to go.
8 weeks to go. Okay. So the guy I've got right now, the team that is very, very surprising, although I'm not going to use them as my surprise later. I've got Drake Maye of the New England Patriots.
Okay.
Now, again, for the same reason, if I take him away, he's got a lot less help than Stafford has. A lot of people are giving a lot of credit to Stephon Diggs, and they should. Saying that, Stephon Diggs in his veteran role at this point is not the same guy that Stafford has all around him.
True. Yeah.
What impresses me, again, the ratio is not as good, 19-5, which is still damn good for
Very,
a
very good.
sophomore.
Yeah.
1,555 yards, 113.9 passer rating. But what I love about him is his improvement. I mean, if from last year to this year, I don't know, we didn't do most improved player. I don't know if usually that's not a fun thing to talk about anyway. And I don't believe AP does it. I think only certain publications do.
Sure.
Regardless, his deep ball accuracy has been incredible this year. What he's done with the pieces around him, I give him this, although I could be easily convinced otherwise that it should be Stafford, because I also have the asterisks in that New England has the weakest schedule so far, but you play who you have against you. So I got Drake Maye by a hair.
Okay.
But I have a feeling this will not keep.
No, that's a nice nice selection. Somebody I also looked at as well, and maybe we'll hear his name again later in the show. Foreshadowing or not, but but yeah, I mean, what the Patriots are doing up there, what Vrabel is doing up there is nice, and Drake Maye is performing the way I believe envisioned when they selected him.
Yeah, it's
probably even a little better.
I would say so, especially considering it's only year two.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, or like you mentioned, the lack of weapons around him too.
No, absolutely. So I guess now we move from that to the offensive player of the year, which I've never understood how you can win that and not, or how sometimes a quarterback doesn't wins the offensive player of the year and not the MVP. I don't know. That's happened many times before. Drew Brees. Someone will have to explain it to me like I'm 12, but I'm going by what the rules that they sort of put forth in front of us. I don't know if you don't mind if I go first on this one.
No, go for it. I appreciate that.
I like the snake thing, going with that.
Yeah, that's good.
So I just sort of excluded almost by default quarterbacks. I'm just going to go moving forward. The MVP is your top quarterback of the league. And I don't think that's really a problem for a lot of people. And my offensive player of the year moving forward in my head is always going to be the top skill player. I'm especially happy. Oh, I should have asked us to do because it's going to be the first year that they're going to have the lineman of the year. I didn't even think to put that forward, but we'll do that. We'll do that later at the end of the year.
End of the year, sure.
Yeah. I think I'd be very surprised if we didn't come up with the same person, especially after last week's performance. And
yeah,
I got Jonathan Taylor, running back, current leader in rushing yards, rushing touchdowns, yards from scrimmage, touchdowns from scrimmage.
Yeah. Enough said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the performance he put on yesterday was really spectacular. And us fans here, the football fans in Wisconsin, we're very familiar with him when he was the college football star for 3 years playing in Madison here. So seeing him take the league as he has and what he's doing this year is really spectacular. Very, very happy for him. I agree with you 100%. He was my selection here as well. I think it was an easy choice as you kind of described it, the best non-quarterback position or offensive skill player.
Yeah.
And he's risen to that level today, this season.
This may not keep. I like the guy I have behind him is McCaffrey. And I like the fact that we've got Taylor and McCaffrey, two guys. Well, I don't know who you would have number two, but I like here that we have two guys who have dealt with a lot of injuries and are still here. It's sort of nice to see that. And just like last year, we could say that about Barkley and Derrick Henry.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's been the wide receivers have really kind of had this award kind of locked down for a while. And so in the last couple of years here with, like you mentioned, with Barkley last year and JT this year, where the running backs have really kind of started to take the league back a little bit and reestablish their not superiority, but importance in the offense um, for these teams, being able to keep the defense off guard and be able to kind of hit them where they're not expecting, when they're kind of expecting a more pass heavy game. So no, I'm right with you there.
Okay. I will defer to you for the offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah, so this one here, I kind of kicked around three different names. I think there are the three that most people will be looking to, and I probably ended up with the one that is least likely of the three, and that is Tyler Warren from Indianapolis. So 50 receptions already this year, and the Colts kind of one of the surprises of the season so far for a lot of people here, with the job Shane Steichen's done there with them. The reason I went with Warren over Ibuka and McMillan is the tight end role also includes a lot of blocking, and not saying that wide receivers don't block, but tight ends I think expect to do a lot more blocking, and blocking bigger people, and taking that role on along with being an offensive weapon there for a surprise team just kind of ended up more ticks in the Warren column here at the end of the day. So that's where I went.
Okay. I had another guy in consideration among the three that you just mentioned. I also was kicking around Jackson Dart.
Okay.
But I initially went against it only because he hasn't played a full season, relatively speaking. I didn't really have McMillan. I had McMillan number 4. I was also looking at Amika from Tampa Bay, but I went with the same guy you did.
Nice.
For Warren. And I thought that was actually going to be something that we would differ on.
Sure.
But like you, I think we were thinking the same thing. There's no runway leader. I went with Warren mainly because I thought where he sort of fits in with the other tight ends is higher on that pecking order than Dart is on QBs and Amika is on wide receivers. So I thought he's having more of an impact position related.
Sure.
So I edged that way. That again could change. He's not that much of my run. He's not a runaway by any stretch.
No, right. I think that's the thing. Same, you and I kind of came to the same conclusion. There really is no player that stands out, head and shoulders above everybody else. Cam Scadaboo over in New York was another person that, had he not got injured, may have had a little more say in this category. But unfortunately, his season came to short. Was too short here. This season came to a quick end.
Okay. I guess then I'll start with this one. So I get defensive player of the year, and this is a 2-horse race for me. And I could again flip-flop easily, especially considering one of them is playing right now. Yeah. So obviously that one person's Micah Parsons, who I did go with.
Okay.
Stat-wise, if you just look at traditional stats, this is sometimes where you've got to look at the advanced stats, but I'm going to go on later on and say why sometimes I don't always love advanced stats. But on this one, I sort of do. Garrett's not going to Garrett. Sorry, that's the other person. Obviously, I'm going to talk about. Parsons is not going to lead the league in any kind of metric, but that's also because he's double team on every single not every pass rush, but over 50% of pass rushes. Yeah. He has made a bigger impact on any defense on any team that is doing well.
Yeah.
Again, I sort of
kind of
that it's a caveat. Well.
No, I mean, yeah. Obviously, they're doing well. Last week and a few weeks ago, notwithstanding.
and after this game, I might have a different response. Don't know.
Yeah.
I love what Myles Garrett is doing, and I love what Cleveland's defense is doing, and it's got to be so frustrating for Myles Garrett. I still can't believe you re-signed with this team. What did you think was going to be built around you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. And
but you did. I think this is actually going to be the first time he's ever led the league in sacks if it stays this way. I hope it does.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you there. The two you mentioned, Garrett and Parsons, and yeah, I kind of felt like going with Parsons was going to seem like a little bit of a homer, but you kind of hit it right with him. Is
Mhm.
he's and obviously being a Packer fan here, seeing the games, watching him specifically in the lineup close. The amount of times he gets mugged on that line there doesn't get the call. He's applying the pressure that doesn't result in a sack, but results in the pass being thrown away. Things like that. The Packer line also suffered some injuries. Devontae Wyatt has out a few games there. He's kind of their best interior guy since they traded Kenny Clark away. Really important to their defense because without him in there, the opponents have a much easier opportunity to run the ball. And the other one that's missing right now, still missing, is Lucas Van Ness, first rounder a couple of seasons ago, was really off to a fast start this season. Probably getting the benefit of Parsons and Gary on the line opposite him, but the three of them were really kind of causing problems early in the season for the opponents, and he's been out for 4 weeks now, 5 weeks. So
Mhm.
they miss him. And when you don't have those extra guys in there, it's easier to double and sometimes triple team or chip block on Parsons. And he's still producing extreme numbers when it comes to pressures, quarterback hurries, things like that, which you mentioned are advanced stats, but they are important that every defensive coordinator, head coach, analyst is going to pick that up and see that that's the player that's causing the most problems on the field there against you. So I'm with you there. Like I said, I was a little worried I'd be a homer pick, but you kind of gave me a little bit of cover there. So thank you.
Oh, I've had that plan right from the beginning.
Sure. Yeah.
Defensive rookie of the year, Chris. Who do you got?
Yeah. So this one I had to do a little digging on because defensive rookies, just not quite standing out as much as others. I settled with Carson Swearinger from the Cleveland Browns. Uh, Kind of reading into some of the press clippings on him, he's really kind of solidified the middle there for Cleveland. As you mentioned with Garrett, Cleveland does have an extremely strong defense this year. Their offense has struggled at times, but their defense has kept them in more games than probably they should have been, and probably helped them win some games that at least one for sure I know of that they probably shouldn't have. So, um, linebacker is a tough position to kind of come in and stand out, but he's doing that, and kudos to him, kudos to Cleveland for identifying his talent and getting him on the field right away and letting him do his thing out there.
I have the same guy. Top tackler in Cleveland. He's proven himself in a leadership role already as a rookie. So definitely helps when you've got Myles Garrett there on your team.
Mhm.
But this is sort of where the advanced stats love another guy from New York with the Giants, Abdul Carter.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. Yeah, I love the amount of pressures he's had all year. But if you're an edge guy and right now you've only have half a sack, you're not my defensive rookie of the year. I can't wrap my head around that. And I know analytics might tell me I'm wrong. I'm sorry. I just can't do it.
Yeah, no, I think the tackle numbers really just kind of outweigh the as you mentioned the pressure stats that Carter's got there. And Carter's going to be a great player. You can see that it's coming together for him. He's going to start to get the numbers. He just needs a little more around him, a little more time in the league to
Mhm.
figure some stuff out on his own. Refine some of his moves, pass rush moves, and the QB sack numbers will come in time. So yeah, Giants got themselves a good one there. See if they can keep him past his rookie contract. It seems to be a struggle there for them.
Oh my God. When's the last time I know the Giants made the playoffs not that long ago, but it sure felt like a big fluke when that happened. Like, how are you here?
Yeah, it's been a while. They Obviously, as we recorded this on Monday, the 10th, they earlier today they did let their head coach Brian Dable
Mhm.
find employment elsewhere.
And to which I said right before we went on, there's Brian Flores saying, if you're just listening, I'm just making weird faces. But anyway, yeah.
Um, so yeah, so
In my case, weirder faces.
so for Carter, hopefully the next uh, coaching staff in there is able to kind of, and probably GM is able to come in there, build, add some more talent, scheme some things a little bit stronger, and see, you'll see his numbers pick up because the talent is definitely there on his part.
Okay. Surprise of the year.
And me,
Yeah, I'm giving you for yourself. Yeah.
okay,
These aren't awards that the NFL does, but I just wanted to sort of like do
yeah,
something just for fun. So, what is
no,
something that right now you're surprised more than anything else?
yeah, no, I like that category. It's Drake Maye and the New England Patriots for me. They obviously had coaching change last year. They kind of had the Belichick Brady hangover that after the two of them kind of went their separate ways. Brady had some success. Belichick really didn't. Now Belichick is coaching kids in North Carolina. Say that's what he's doing.
He's co-parenting with another individual. Let's just say.
um, but they brought in Mike Vrabel, a former Patriot, and he's kind of brought his energy to that team. The team is rallying around him.
Mhm.
Okay, yes, they have the weakest schedule, but you still have to go out there and beat the teams that you should beat.
Mhm.
Um, when New Orleans rolls into Carolina, Carolina should win. Just like when Carolina rolls into Green Bay should win. Well, in both cases, that's not what happened. In New England, they're supposed to win, they're winning. So a lot of that comes to the coaching, a lot of that comes to the development and play of Drake Maye. Doesn't have the ton of headline talent around him, but he's doing what he can with what he's got, and they're playing well as a team. And I don't think a lot of them had them being the juggernaut that they have been so far. And
Yeah.
hats off to them for doing it, and be fun to watch how they go the rest of the season here.
Yeah, I think although I didn't say it in our prediction show, I did sort of have, which this one's looking really good. The Patriots doubling the wins of UNC.
Yes, you did.
Uh, but that was more of a shot at Belichick than what I thought that
Sure.
the Patriots were going to do. I thought their high water mark was going to be maybe 10 wins, possibly 11, and they could easily shatter my expectation.
Yeah.
Originally, I'm actually calling an audible. I
Okay.
was going to do Daniel Jones because
Makes
that
sense.
that has been a huge surprise, but and we'll still say maybe we'll say that 1A, and but here's my 1B, and because sometimes I like to acknowledge when I'm wrong. And it is now officially 8 years old. So this person is now in grade 3, or this thing in grade 3 marks the anniversary of when I first wrote off Joe Flacco as actually still playing. I did indirectly call somewhat accurately that he was going to be gone as a starting quarterback at Cleveland pretty quickly. I did not foresee. Well, I think I said Shador was going to take that over.
I think you said Shadur would be starting at some point, whether he was.
Yeah, which obviously that one went to shit. So that one's not happening. And maybe that's for the best. I think, did I say that before I learned that he turned down the opportunity to be, he told Baltimore not to draft him? I think if I didn't own that, I wouldn't have said so.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not 100%.
I think that was the case.
Yeah.
Flacco, again, he still is here. He had a 4 touchdown game. He lost the game,
Yeah.
but Flacco have it throwing for 4 touchdowns. And think about who was all around him. Like when he went to the Super Bowl that one time, and I'm not going to show on Kaepernick right now. I could do that a whole other time. for other reasons that people might think, not the obvious one that a lot of people want to go to. But bottom line is, when that Super Bowl happened and Flacco beat Kaepernick, I think there was a lot of people put me in that category that the Kaepernick had the far better future. Nope.
Yeah.
Not only was that not the case, Flacco is going to be my all-time greatest never a Pro Bowl selection quarterback.
Hey, it's still this year. Come on.
That's true. I mean, Tyler Huntley can be a Pro Bowl selection. That, you know what, that's actually true. Russell Wilson last year. Speaking of which, Chris and I do a show every month where we look at the elevator up, elevator down. I had Russell Wilson as an elevator down, and all I know is Russell Wilson has now been the most hated quarterback per capita in the last 4 years. Denver was happy to get rid of him. Pittsburgh, he was there. I know he was a Pro Bowler, went 1-for-1 on Pro Bowls. I'm giving all that credit to Mike Tomlin. But Russell,
yeah,
I mean,
seeing what Tomlin does with the talent he gets handed to him is pretty impressive on his part.
That was your shot at Aaron Rodgers, and that's okay. But my wet fart of the year is Russell Wilson. Please retire. Please, please, please retire. I never seen anyone lose more Hall of Fame credibility. I know that he should be judged on what he did. We've talked to people who sort of believe that, saying that when you go down sad as a quarterback, you can decline.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Montana declined when he was a Chief. I don't want to remember him that way.
No, he's always 16 for San Francisco.
But he still made the playoffs. I think he was a Pro Bowl in one of those 2 years when that was a little bit more relevant, let's just say.
Yeah. Kind of held a little more weight. Yeah. People showed up.
As much as you dislike Aaron Rodgers, Rodgers is not. I give him a pass with the Jets that year because
coming off the season-ending Achilles injury, the team around him wasn't. Well, I mean, he built a team around him. That's kind of his own fault. So,
well, I mean, they let him do it. So that's not, like, this isn't basketball. You don't have that kind of power. So it doesn't work the same way. But he's not embarrassing himself in Pittsburgh. He's not some guy. Not yet. Okay, fine, whatever. Either way, he's not Russell Wilsoning it.
Fair enough.
And it's sad. It's sad to watch. And maybe it's not so sad. Somewhere Marshawn Lynch is doing commercial after commercial, and he still looks like every bit the beast mode. By the way, Marshawn, if you're ever watching this, I know you're not. That yeast mode commercial, brilliant. Love.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
Well, it's not. It's just basically he's pretending that he's It's only for for a brief. I don't even know what it's for.
Okay.
Commercial. But he's selling a cookbook called Yeast Mode.
Okay.
and nobody shows up. All right, because Marshawn can laugh at Marshawn.
That's right. He's just there so he doesn't get fined.
Marshawn knows who he is. He's never going to pretend he's something he's not, and that's
right.
Why he's so loved. I mean, think about this. Is that not the first media guy or anti-media guy who was beloved?
Yeah, I mean, it very well could be. I know the players around him respected the hell out of him.
Well, the fans too.
Fans, I know, connection. Bring it back here to something I'm kind of familiar with when Rodgers actually tried recruiting him to Green Bay. And obviously knowing Green Bay, what the culture is up here and how some players kind of fit, some don't really, because of the nature of the market, putting his kind of stamp on that he would be somebody that could work here. It kind of says a lot about him. So I'm happy that he was able to kind of parlay his career into still being relevant, and is having fun with some commercials. Like I said, I don't remember the one you mentioned, but yeah, I mean, it's
I've
good
only
for
seen
him.
it 3
And
times, so maybe it's new.
yeah, I mean, he didn't want to talk to the press, but now he'll if you pay him to talk to the press, he'll do it. or,
Well, I mean,
or pay him to be in the
it's
media,
not
he'll
the
do
same
it.
though. It's not the
Yeah,
same. I mean, like he's dealing with different types of press.
yeah, for sure.
You know, it's like a lot of, I watched this video today on Dave Kingman,
Mm.
and from, I think it was Jeff Pearlman. And he was talking about how Dave Kingman was the biggest asshole he ever met. And I always wondered how somebody could have that kind of power, yet his advanced metrics were bad, but it was an era where nobody knew what advanced metrics were. Why did he just keep getting shipped from place to place to place and couldn't stick anywhere? And then I found out why.
Yeah.
So shout out to Jeff Pearlman. Check out his YouTube. A little bit better than mine. We're working
Yeah.
on it. We're working on it. But you get to close off with
My
who's your disaster of the year?
yeah, kind of ties back to the very first one of the season of our show here, and that's you mentioned that Sam Darnold's the other candidate I really kind of heavily consider for MVP. And he played last season for the Minnesota Vikings. And the Minnesota Vikings were an extremely um, really strong team last year. They have 2 losses all season.
Mhm.
Kind of shit the bed in the playoffs, but they were a dominant team last year. And to finish second in the division because Detroit was in the division. And that was kind of the weird year where you had Detroit, Minnesota, and Green Bay all with spectacular records at the end of the season. So Minnesota just has not has not been able to carry forward, even with just like a slight little regression here. They went and let Sam Darnold walk. He signed with Seattle. They turned the keys of the kingdom over to JJ McCarthy, and it has not gone as they would have expected. Which kind of, in a way, you kind of thought that could be something, considering he missed his entire rookie season last year. But at the same time, he was around the team. They knew kind of what they had. If you had questions like that, why would you let the guy that is a potential MVP candidate out your door?
Right.
Um, so a little bit of column A here with roster management, a little bit of column B here with talent, and yeah, Minnesota Vikings. They're kind of my what was the stumble of the
Yeah. I changed it to wet fart.
whatever. Okay, so they're mine
Yeah.
this year.
Okay. All right. We'll close off with another plug of the United States Athletic Hall of Fame. There's only a couple more weeks or 3 more weeks to vote for that. I was telling Chris before we went on that we've shattered our record for the amount of votes that we've had, but we can do a lot more. www.theUSAHOF.com. You can vote every day. You can't vote multiple times a day, but you can vote every day. So we're very happy with how the votes are spread out among the coaches and contributors. Although there's a couple of coaches and contributors who have no love at all, maybe they should just get kicked off the ballot for other people. I actually don't know who they are. I only got the top 25 because I don't sort of like run that
Sure.
aspect, but I do know the top 25 currently on
Which
each
can
one,
change.
which
You have the power to change it for us.
yes, you do. All of you do. But I think it's going to be a nice mix. If it stays the way it is, it'll certainly be a nice mix throughout the sports. But there's some sports that just aren't very well represented. I can't tell you who they are right now because then they'll sort of tip what I know. But
Sure.
again, if you're a fan of sport X and you think, well, maybe a lot of other people in the great United States aren't, vote.
Mm-hmm.
You can make this happen. I mean, you can sneak them in. 25 athletes are going to get in. So that race for those final few spots, that's really, really tight. I think there's a couple right now. I can pretty much, I've already written their bios because I know that's already going to happen. So,
Sure.
but I don't know for sure. Things can change. We could get an influx of votes from God knows where, from God knows what group. I don't know. Gaze for the metric system.
Hey, maybe Scott Presser will get a hold of it and start signing people up to vote for the United States Athletics Hall of Fame instead of
Mhm.
whatever he's doing out there in New Jersey.
There you go. And you're not really signing up. We're not collecting your data.
No, no login,
We're
no
collecting your
password.
votes. Yeah, no, exactly. No login, no passwords. Not like the Pro Football Hall of Fame where we're going to collect your email and then bombard you with products that you don't want because I don't have any products. Not
Just
yet.
other shows.
Yeah, just this, just this, and you don't want to buy this. I
Now we
mean,
give it away.
okay, well, you're supposed to keep me off of a tangent, and I tangented. I did this already myself.
www.theusahof.com.
There you go, in stereo, in sync like the Everly Brothers were. Bye bye love, bye bye happiness. With that, let's bring this all to a close. Wherever you are, wherever you may be, make today count because it never comes again. Take care, everybody.
See ya.